Hello, hello. This is Dr. Angelika Christie, your host of the show, Your Radiant Life After 45. It's a show for mature women who want more from life, who want to have the knowledge how to have a vibrant body, the knowledge how to use her mind in order to get the things that she wants to experience in her life. And also a woman who wants to have the best relationships. And of course, the relationship always starts with the relationship you have with yourself. And then from there, when your relationship with yourself is great, then you radiate everything that makes a relationship with others better. Okay, so without further ado, today's theme is really about the old paradigm compared to the new paradigm. I want to speak about the new paradigm. We always hear about the wholeness of body, mind, and spirit, right? But is this the right sequence? I know it is not, and maybe you know it is not as well. So now that we have already said that it's not the right sequence, what is the right sequence? Don't you think it is better to say spirit, mind, and then body? Even thinking is the correct way, and then saying it, and because that will support the right sequence of your being to take the right action, right? The other correction we will apply to the old saying is the old saying, when I have this, the right situation, the money or whatever, the right partner, then I can do that, spend time to improve myself or whatever. And then I will be happy or great, or I get what I envision to be. No. It's the other way around. The correct sequence is be, then do, and then you have. Be what you envision first, then do what you need to do, and then you will have what you desire. Doesn't this make sense? I believe so. So, and in an earlier episode, I already spoke about the 4 pillars. But I want to go a little bit more deeply into this here. The 4 pillars, of course, is the first one is your spirituality. That's the kind of the foundation. And the second pillar is your physical body, then your social standing, and then your financial freedom. Okay, so, and we want to explore this gift that you have inside of you, because the greatest gift is still in you. Yes? Do you believe this? Maybe you're not too sure about it, but I think if you take the time to be really quiet and go within, you may discover that. But it's probably all covered up with all of the things that you were told, or the business of life, and that never really allowed you to go that deep and explore that greatest gift that is still within you. So the foundation is really spirituality. Really understanding yourself as a spiritual being. Why is your spirituality number 1? The first that needs to be fully embraced and understood? Just imagine you are on stage. Your whole life's drama can be projected on stage. You probably have heard that all of life is acted out on stage. So your spiritual energy is always with you wherever you go, even though you do not feel it like you feel your physical body. And yet your spiritual body is your most powerful body. It is who you really are and where everything comes from. And it can be changed in a flash. So it is important to bring your spiritual being forward into the center of your attention. You will understand later how your spiritual power is your greatest collaborator. Don't worry if you can't quite get this yet. You will understand this perfectly when we go deeper into this conversation. And this may not be the only episode where we do this. There may be more episodes where we go deeper into this because it's so important. Because most people get it really wrong. Actually, most of us put our mind and our ego into the main focus. That's how the world runs. That's what everybody else does, right? So we give our mind, our ego, a greater importance and position our spirituality somewhere on the back burner, kind of as maybe a byproduct. Be very honest. Is this you too? I'm not talking about religion here at all. So spirituality to me is not religion. I mean, they are connected, but I'm not talking about religion here. This has nothing to do with dogma, which religion always has a dogma. If you belong to an organized religion, it may even give you a deeper relationship, a deeper insight, and an understanding of your chosen faith. Or it may free you from beliefs you were never truly all that deeply connected to. I'm really talking here about the true essence of who you are. And that, of course, includes and is the center point what your spiritual power is all about. And your spiritual power is the fuel that keeps your physical body alive and only sees the highest expression of yourself, of you, the real you. You see, your spirituality is really universal. But it's also very personal. And it is intrinsically connected to every aspect of your life. Your soul brought this energy into your body and therefore into this lifetime, into your life for a specific purpose. And that's, beloved friends, that's where your gifts can be discovered. Okay, so are we clear about this? I hope so, that the first pillar is your spirituality. Okay, so let's move to the second pillar. The second pillar empowers your physical body, which is the temple of your soul. Your soul has chosen your body for this lifetime. Then the question is, how much do you love your body? Do you really love your body? Do you understand your body's needs? How often do you tune in into your body to really listen? How well do you listen when you tune in, like in contemplation, meditation? How would you like to understand what your body tries to communicate to you? Yes, your body communicates to you all the time, but do you listen? Do you understand it? Do you think it would make a big difference if you could? We cannot always understand the billions of chemical reactions that are taking place at every moment. I mean, not always understand, probably not at all, but we know that this is actually going on in our body, right? Without us having to orchestrate. Our bodies know exactly what to do. Sometimes we are taken on a ride like, okay, so this program is for women 45 and over. I mean, over 45. So you could already have pre-menopause. Okay, so what comes to mind when you think about menopause? Hot flush, right? For women in menopause, hot flushes. This can almost feel like a nuclear reaction coming alive within you, right? If you had it or are having it, you know exactly what that feels and what I mean. Well, you may not have experienced it yet. because maybe you're still too young, or are one of the lucky women who never really experience it. It's fascinating, though, how the body can generate such intense heat. So you can imagine how much chemistry goes on in your body for that alone to happen. We have a lot to cover when we build an intrinsic relationship with our physical body, which includes how we use our mind as a tool to affect or even master most of our physical sensations. Your mind can control more than you can imagine. Mind control, mindfulness. There is so much. Our mind is a powerful tool. Most of all, of course, our mind triggers emotions, and emotions affect everything in our body. We can either become slaves of our emotions or learn how to master them skillfully, master them by choice. I have a very cool tool for that works actually like a charm. Well, I actually wrote a little book, this book right here, almost in 2011. So that's almost 12 years ago. It's out of print at this moment, but I will send you the electronic version if you want it. Let me know in the comments or contact me, because my info, how to contact me, is in my bio. And the title is Your Intrinsic Self. Your intelligent self. Did I say intrinsic? Your intelligent self. Intrinsic relationship with your body. Yeah. It's small, but it has also a online environment to it. There are all kinds of parts to it that are not even printed in it. And it's also part of the course that I have, Your Greatest Gift is Still in You, where I show you how to gain physical, mental, and emotional power like you have never experienced before. Why is this important? Because you will understand it like never before. And you will understand it in a very solid, powerful way, because you will understand it from the point of your spiritual nature and energetically, which is quantum physics stuff. And we don't go in it today, of course, but it is fascinating. Okay, so then from there, from your physical body, we build the bridge to the third pillar by exploring the energy or the frequency you send out from your spiritual and your physical body, because you are energy. You know this, right? Everything is energy in different densities. And we are always sending out frequency signals. Do you know what magnetism is? I think I mentioned that in another episode, but here's the place maybe to mention it again. And I got this from my mentor, one of my mentors, Bo Eason. Have you ever wondered what makes somebody magnetic or charismatic? Or we say, oh, she is so magnetic. Or wow, she has that charisma or that magnetic energy. You know who is also magnetic? Animals are magnetic. Why? Why are animals so magnetic? When we see animals, we are always attracted to it. Well, the vast majority, I would say. Why is that? Because they are themselves. They don't judge themselves. So here is the definition of magnetism. And I learned it from one of my mentors, Bo Eason, but it's also, I think he got it from from a lexicon. I don't know, I don't know which one, but he said magnetism means she has the power to influence others through the delight she finds in herself. She has the power to influence others through the delight she finds in herself. The same is with guys. So you could also say he has the power, because men are magnetic and charismatic too, of course. But how does that come? If you have a joyful and loving relationship with yourself, with your body, don't judge it all the time. Dance with its needs, with its movement, and create joy and happiness. You build magnetism. And with your spiritual awareness more acute, because you're building on this too, you are already far ahead of most women. Now, life gets easier. Everything gets easier then. Okay? So the third pillar represents your social empowerment, your social stand. Where are you in your social standing? For example, with others. You know, you are in relationships with your children, if you have children, your partner, your business partners, your friends, your community. And you don't even have to master the first and the second pillar yet, but once you know the sequence, the right people will be drawn to you. And the wrong people will stay away. Why? Because for those, it's too painful for them. Your light is too bright already. So they're either irritated or they don't want to be, they're not attracted. And of course, yes, there will be others. There will also be those who are jealous because you rise in your community, in your family, because you have elevated yourself in your own experience of yourself within yourself, you know. You thrive in your business and in your personal relationships. And let me tell you, it shows. Yes, it shows. And there are many, many situations that will come into your life. You will encounter. There may be someone who wants to harm. Maybe someone who wants to shut you down, to stop you. Because you have always those people who are either jealous or who just can't stand it, who have to take away from you what you have built and naturally have now. But you see, nobody can really hurt you anymore. You have become too strong. How? You know who you are. And therefore, you have that resilience. Of course, resilience needs to be built by repeating it. And there will be many situations that will come to test you. And that's how you build resilience, because you always remind yourself who you are. Be first. Yes? Do you belong to a small group of people who can stay calm and focused? For example, when somebody attacks you, or in the midst of a chaotic situation, when you build this, the correct sequence with your spirituality first, then your physical body, then you know who you are. You cannot be shut down. You cannot be frightened back into doubts or anxieties or fears. Yes, fears will come up, but you will always remember who you are, and it will evaporate those fears. And this is precisely where the line is drawn between the majority of people who are unprepared, yet still go ahead with high ideals to change create change in themselves and in their families, in their communities, and want to change the world, but without knowing who they are first. You see, without starting with yourself first and applying the correct sequence, you could be on an emotional roller coaster, trying to be strong. And that takes such willpower. And this is exactly where so many well-intending women get burned out. Their results will be so-so and ultimately exhausting because their foundation rests on they're really not resting on solid ground, they rest on air. It's not grounded in their own spirituality and then in their physical power, because that's what we just have discussed, right? The right sequence is your spiritual body first, your spiritual power, the knowledge of who you are as a spiritual being, and then understand this incredible physical temple of yours, your physical body and its needs. And if you don't do that, it's like trying to build a house by starting with the roof. You can't do that, right? It's an impossible dream, and the pie in the sky, it doesn't work that way. But most don't know that. They still go with the old paradigm: body, mind, spirit. No, that's like building a house with the roof first. Doesn't work. But by now, after we have this little discussion, you know that it must be spirit, mind, and then body. And when you apply this correct sequence, I can guarantee you build a strong foundation on which you can build your life exactly the way you desire. Yes, exactly the way you desire. And, you know, at the end of exploring the third pillar here now, you know how the world sees you and how you want to show up in the world. Yes? Okay. So, of course, I have a whole course on this. This is a long and deep, I go really deeply into all of these pillars. But just today, I want to give you an overview. And so let's go into the fourth pillar, which represents your financial freedom. Who doesn't like that? Yes, when you have gone through the right sequence so far to build a strong foundation from the ground up, and you have experienced that it is not the physical body that represents the ground, but your true foundation is your spiritual body. Can you see how easy yet profoundly this new awareness is? Yes. And then it evaporates the old belief system that kept you stuck and makes your progress so difficult because you are trying so hard. Body, mind, spirit. No, spirit, mind, body. Got it? And once you have experienced your spiritual power as the foundation on which everything rests, you can build a skyscraper, maybe a castle, not the one that's in the sky, you know, castle in the sky, no, but on solid ground. And let me tell you, that skyscraper or castle will be impossible to collapse. When you have built that foundation, from there, you can explore all possibilities. All creative insights are available to you. And from there, you can explore what your gift really is. The one that you came into this lifetime to live from, and maybe even to share with the world. You can claim abundance because all confusion and overwhelm are a thing of the past. Your freedom cannot be threatened anymore. because you are grounded in your essence, which is pure and solid and reliable. Yes? And when you are embedded in this, you will attract people who are in alignment, in coherence with you and your vision. They get you, they understand you. And you have unleashed this amazing strength. You know how to master your life skillfully, which makes you a leader. And others are going to be attracted to you because others want what you have. They want to be close to you. They want to get some of that which you have. Yes, and even then there will be times when you slip, when the old programming of lack of money, lack of resources, the lack of confidence, the old feeling of doubt and fear, they all creep up and try to pull you back. I know that all of us slip from time to time, but that's when the less evolved human in us shouts, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And then you shut that up and they said, I know who I am. Because when you go through the correct sequence, you know that you are the most powerful spiritual being. And uniquely you. There is nobody like you. Nobody has your fingerprints. Nobody has your voice. Nobody has your frequency, your energy. Nobody has your gifts. But don't worry, I will give you the tools that when you slip, you can bring yourself back into alignment. Alignment of who you really are, right? Not from the view of your frightened ego, but from the deep certainty of your spirit, your soul, your soul self, your inner hero, I call it. And it may take only a moment to step back into your power after you slipped, because all you have to do is remember, and it will just be there for you again. In my course, Your Greatest Gift is Still in You, I share with you 2 very effective tools. And, you know, one of them only takes 30 seconds and the other one, just a few minutes. All of us have to course correct. Sometimes we do this automatically, and other times we need to make it an intention. We need to do it intentionally. This reminds me how often planes have to course correct. For example, a plane that takes off in LAX and has to land thousands of miles away in Sao Paulo, for example, in Brazil, maybe exactly on, of course, not maybe, but exactly on runway, let's say L35, you know that the pilots don't do very much of actually flying the plane anymore to that. The plane flies itself over 90% of the time. But I was flabbergasted to learn that the plane course corrects about 99% of the time. Imagine that. A fraction of a degree, of course, adds up to hundreds of miles on a very long trip like LAX to Sao Paulo. Fortunately, we don't have to course correct that many times, but we must course correct along our life's journey if we want to stay focused on where we want to go and where we want to arrive. Some just sit back and expect that just wishful thinking would bring them results. It is against all logic. Would you agree? And this applies especially to claim your financial freedom. So this is all I can have that I have for you today. We continue in the next episode with this, where we are leaving off right now. So for now, I just want to thank you for the time that you have given me to be with me here. And I hope that I gave you some food for thought that maybe some aha moments came up, maybe even an epiphany, maybe something shifted and you said, oh my God, I get it, now I have it. Anyway, be my guest on Saturdays every time right here, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Bye-bye for now, until we see each other again next Saturday. This is Dr. Angelika Christie, your host of the show, Your Radiant Life After 45.